do it.
My saying is, it's hard work having fun.
Yes, especially when you have to work the next morning.
Hard work having fun. Yeah, you get it at 5:30, don't you?
So I was like,
Yeah, I saw the Snapchats.
I was burning out the candle both ends there.
Yeah, so you get sick. You wear out your body. And give up doing that.
And it is an All the Drink Swords by, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, look at this. We got a very cool episode. And for the first time, Maria is actually going to be co-hosting.
Yeah.
Although she kind of co-hosts all the time.
Move over, David.
You're out, David. Maria is in. This is going to be an interesting show as we're doing our Memorial Day show. We're supposed to have a guest, but they canceled, so we'll just see what happens and go on. I do have the mic open, though, so we'll see if anyone jumps on that. If not, it's cool. Yeah, and somebody that we've been trying to get on is here, and that is none other than Andrea, ladies and gentlemen. She's on the show officially. How's it going, Andrea?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just trying to dial you in really quick. So you went out last night.
Saturday
night.
Takes longer to recoup.
Yeah, the older that we get, that becomes the major thing. How do I recover? It takes me now 2 to 3 days to recover from a night of sheer debauchery.
It took me 2 days, yes.
Yeah.
I was feeling it
Takes
this
about
morning
that time,
still.
yeah.
What were you drinking, or what was the poison?
Well, you know I drink tequila, so I was drinking 60, the Don Julio 70th anniversary. And then...
At the fair?
No, here. And then we pre-partied it here. So that's what we did. And then we had fireball shots before we walked in the door.
Oh my God, Fireball.
Ooh,
How do you do that?
Sounds like a headache.
And then I was trying to stick to tequila, so I had 2 margaritas, and I know better. It's the sweetness that kills me the next day. Yeah.
I saw you there.
We're selling it at Tina's now.
Needless to say, I had to wake
Oh,
up
really?
at
And
5:30
the
in the
small
morning and go to work
bottles?
the next day.
Really? Interesting.
Fireball is the devil.
You know, a lot of people like Fireball. Like, until I started bartending, I was surprised some of the cocktails like that people make with them. A lot of people like Fireball and Coke.
That's weird.
Yeah, never heard of it before. Started pouring drinks. Also, people like Fireball with rum chata.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
called
It's like a horchata type
Cinnamon
thing.
Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people like that too. So, people love it. It's a little too sweet for me.
You a sourpuss.
It's just the sugars is what gives you the hangover. I do
Right.
believe it's the sugar that gives me the headache. So if I'm going to be drinking, have a night of drinking, then yeah, I try to pull out the sugar.
What drinks don't have sugar? I'm trying to think.
I mean, most straight
Yeah, that's
spirits.
why. That's why I'm like, you're
I really
doomed.
like the White Claw with the shot of vodka. That I've been having that for a long time. And then I'll rotate. I'll have like one White Claw, and then a White Claw with a shot of vodka, and then a White Claw, and then a White Claw with a cloud. So it's a steady. So
Right.
I don't get I don't like to get tossed.
Yeah.
I like to have fun, but I don't like to be tossed.
Yeah, getting tossed is always an accident. I always say that. No
You're
one ever.
like, oops, I
Yeah.
did it again.
Yeah. I played with my liver. I lost in the game. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Very cool things that are happening in my life that we'll get to slowly. But Maria, did you bring any topics? I was wondering.
I had a couple, that I wanted. We're gonna just start off with mine right away.
Would
Let's
you-
start off. I'll throw one out for now.
Yeah. You know why? Because you're the only one that always has a topic. Like David rarely has one, and I'm just like, oh my God. Not that I have to carry the load or anything like that, but I'm just like, okay, like now I can.
I kind of wanted to just mention, because I don't know how many SNL fans there are, but I'm a big SNL fan, and there's 4 cast members leaving.
Yeah, this is huge.
This last season. And it is, they're really hard hitters in the SNL cast lineup. Kate McKinnon, A.D. Bryant, Mooney's gone, and Pete Davidson.
Right.
So, definitely sad about that. So that was one thing I wanted to kind of share.
Definitely a true shakeup, but I think that's good. That's what keeps SNL fresh, you know?
It is, yeah. I wish A.D. Bryant would have stayed a little bit longer. Kate McKinnon is a hard one to lose, but you're right. It can't continue. The longer you stay, the more like, I don't know, but like, what's his name?
Kenan
Kenan Thompson. He's been there for like ever.
I know.
So it's like there's also cast members that can, I guess, do it. But I don't know. I felt like Kate McKinnon. She was just in every skit for a while.
Yeah.
And it was just like there, you know, it's time for her next phase.
Yeah, it's like we don't know what to do, so let's throw Kate McKinnon in. And that's such a great transition because my next phase is coming up.
Yes, transitions. It
yeah.
is a new moon for those astrology fans. A new moon is upon us.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that.
And
all right.
Mercury retrograde is supposed to be reducing too in like a week. Not that I follow that stuff.
I know. you're like in.
I just catch up on that on the streets.
the retrograde texts you. I get it. You get SMSs from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to be moving, and I'm leaving the San Gabriel Valley.
How long have you been here?
I've lived here pretty much all my life, unless I was in like the Marine Corps. So what am I? 40? I'm a 43, so at least 35 years.
Wow.
At least 35 years I've lived around in this area, and it's going to be interesting. You know, I feel like an SNL cast member that's been here too long.
And it's time for the next phase.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear this big news.
Yeah. Well, so I'll be moving to Inglewood. I can't claim Inglewood just yet.
Inglewood in the house.
Right. Now, the people have told me that I have to wait a year.
Before you can rep it?
Yes.
I think you just have to learn the gang signs and you're good.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I already have like 3 shirts, you know what I mean? So I don't know what to do, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's weird because all my life is here. My friends are here, my family's here, my bar is here, and to not abruptly leave it, but just to leave it in general. You know, I really feel, and I know Inglewood isn't that far, but I feel that I will be kind of just out of state in a sense. Mm-hmm. But you've always lived in Pasadena too, right?
No, I've been in Pasadena now. This is my 11th year in Pasadena. This summer will be 11 years. But before that, I lived in Covina and Pomona. Those are my 3 cities.
Yeah.
Never got to live in West Covina, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
But I feel like I kind of live here. I mean,
yeah.
I work here.
I mean, you're Covina, West Covina adjacent, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like Covina is definitely like part of West Covina, despite the fact that they are very different people.
Yeah.
Please don't get them
Really?
twisted. Please don't get them twisted. Covinians hate being mistaken for West
Really?
Covinians.
Oh,
but West
my God.
Covinians don't seem to mind at all.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like, no, not Covina, West Covina.
Yeah.
But they never get that mistake. Only Covinians get that mistake.
Because everybody's clumped into West Covina.
Yeah, like I'm surprised the amount, because I do like to travel a lot, so I'm surprised how far away people still have heard of West Covina. But I usually say Los Angeles if I'm like out of country, like where
Yeah.
you're from, Los Angeles, you know, to kind of just
Yeah.
minimize it. But a few people want to know more. It's like, oh, West or Covina. Oh, I know West Covina.
Yeah.
It's like, did I say West Covina? I didn't hear me say West Covina.
So when you left to Pasadena 11 years ago, were you leaving all your like friendships and stuff like that, or did you still have some established out there in Pasadena?
Yeah, no, I still have all my friendships. Yeah, I don't really think that distance can definitely like come between some friendships, but with things like social media and access to our computers and our handheld computers in our hands, most of my friends now have actually moved out of state. I have a lot
Wow.
of my best friends that are out of state, but we're all really close because we have group chats and, you know, I follow along, see their kids growing up still on social media. So I don't feel like I don't know their kids
Right.
or I don't know them. I feel like I'm part of their everyday life still because I could follow along with what they ate for breakfast.
Right.
And what did Susie paint at for kindergarten
Yeah.
class, you know? So I still feel connected to my friends. But yeah, it does take an active effort.
Yeah.
But you can definitely maintain those relationships despite not living in the same vicinities.
Yeah, I'm a very non-active person, you know, just because when I'm working or whatever, I'm there, you know, I'm just there working and doing stuff, and it's the only time that I ever come and try to at least maintain somewhat of a social lifestyle is when I come here to the Cove.
Yeah.
And that's definitely going to take some time to kind of figure out, you know, because here's the thing. I live right now like 5 minutes away from the Cove. So, you know, I'm not condoning it, but I drink and stuff. And, you know,
Condoning.
I'm not.
Not condoning this.
Yeah. But it's like, oh, I live 5 minutes away. Like, that's just, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know.
I got to be honest with you, Albert.
I know.
There's going to be a bar 5 minutes from your new place, too. There's going to be several.
No.
There's bars everywhere.
You know what?
You just got to find the right one.
I've actually been kind of scoping the area out, and it's not that. I mean, it's kind of hard to find a bar in Inglewood.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
And not only that, even a decent, well-rated bar at that. So
Wow. Got some work to do.
yeah, but you know what? Somebody told me they're like, you should open up a bar in Inglewood. You know, I'm like, if
your next venture.
yeah,
Mini Cove Junior.
yeah, I would probably ask Greg, like, could I make a Cove out here? Like, I mean, well, let's franchise, you know.
Yeah,
And
there you go.
You know, we'll go halvesies, you know.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah. I'll you know, I would try to make it the same. I would probably replicate the same exact. I'm like, make it exactly like this.
Yeah.
So whenever you walk in,
It's like, wait, what city am I in?
yeah,
I like it. I like the forgetting. When I work days, I like to close the door so we forget what time it is.
yeah. Hey, you know what's funny too? This is what I don't get is like whenever you go to like a Target or whatever, what I would do is I'd make the same exact floor plan. Because anytime I go to a new grocery store that's like the same, like a Vons or Ralph's, and I walk in, everything's all mixed.
Yeah, it's like the veggies are it's like opposite.
Yeah, and I'm like, why don't they just cookie cut it? So that way you know, oh, this aisle is this aisle, you know, like.
Yeah, and even with different like square foot plans, like you could still like try to stick to it because sometimes they are all over the place. I agree with that, but I know the reason they do that is because you know there's different floor plans, like actual like the you know scopes of the area.
Right.
But it's like still, it's like you're on completely opposite sides. Like the bread and the veggies are on opposite sides.
You're just walking around aimlessly. You know, that's another thing. I got to find a new supermarket out there, you know, and it's
Are
all
you a
these.
creature of habit?
No, I'm a loyalist.
Okay.
If anything, I support the businesses that I support. Like I'm gonna have to find a new burger spot. You know what I mean? A new everything.
everything.
Yeah, I usually go to Manny's El Loco for a lot of my food. For my menudo, I gotta find a new menudo spot.
Yeah.
And no one will ever compete with like Manny's menudo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do when I'm hungover? You know?
It's so weird because I
Get
live
some
in
and freeze
Huntington
it.
Beach, and you're always looking for a good menudo spot, and it's in Huntington Beach. And I even like Yelped it like best menudo spot,
I just need you. There you go.
and you can't really find anything out there.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
And I'm like, maybe El Torito, like, but that's not like the best
Yeah.
menudo in the world, but like it's. So
I
so
really want to
weird.
hunt down a good menudo spot, like a real bomb.
Yeah, like in Pasadena where you live, or just in general?
Anywhere. I will travel. I travel for good food.
I don't travel for
Really?
good.
I like telling people, like, oh, I came here from Pasadena to get this. I like telling people when they're ringing me out. So they know.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, please ring me up quicker.
In Pasadena, they're
my
very
mouth is
fast.
salivating. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh, it is drinks towards my. What are you drinking? Are you drinking anything? Are you
I'm
gonna
having
get-
a coffee right now. I was actually I have some creamer in the fridge.
Okay.
I guess I have a black coffee, but I had creamer. If I could just have the creamer. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have a coffee for right now. Since it's Memorial Day.
You want Irish coffee?
Oh no, not yet. Maybe I'll take a drink before I go, but I want to be safe since I'm on the roads. I know a lot of people are going to be drinking and partying today, so I just want to
Yeah.
remind everyone to be careful and safe and keep in mind what we're celebrating and honoring today.
Yes, and most importantly, and it's weird because I've been getting a lot of texts today I got about 4 texts this morning thanking me for my service, and I'm very appreciative of that. And I tell people, what I did has only paid back in spades. I'm getting a condo because of my service. A lot of the reasons why I'm getting my condo, people that know that I was in, they're doing so many sacrifices. They're like, we're not going to charge you for this because of what you. And it's weird because it's coming all in this timeline of Memorial Day, and so they're doing me a lot of favors because of it. Yeah, give me a lot of love and thanking me for what I did. And
awesome.
Yeah, and it's been great. But I tell them, like, thank you and I appreciate it. But let's also remember those that have fallen that can't make it to a cookout, that can't make it to barbecue, that can't be with their family because they're the ones that paid the ultimate price.
Fallen soldiers.
Yeah, for us to be where we're at. So just wanted to commemorate them and give them some love, and hopefully wherever they're at, they're barbecuing as well. So just wanted to mention that. Were you going to say something too?
No, I'm glad you said that. I completely agree.
I'm going to get a drink. I've already kind of pre-drinked a little bit, but of course, is it really a pre-drink? I love the Irish coffee, and that's one thing that I'm going to, for my housewarming party, but I'm going to have private housewarming parties because the area that I live at is a lot of older people. And it's so weird. I've been gravitating to being an old person like rather quickly in my life.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's like I go and I do one chore and I'm like, oh my God, the day was so long.
I know what I'm getting you for your housewarming gift. Then I'm just gonna find like a really old robe somewhere.
Yeah.
Get you like an old man robe with like holes in it already.
Yeah. Already
So
buy me
you're halfway there.
buy me a paper already so I can just come walking out. You kids.
Yeah.
The slippers.
Yeah.
Slippers with the back bent in because you don't want to. You just want to slide your foot in.
But because of that, like I interviewed I just ran into one of the people that lived there, an older lady, and I interviewed her really quick. And I was shaking her down for information. I'm like, so what's the demographics like? I'm like, does it get loud here? They're like, oh no. They're like, we will shut parties down.
Well, they're old. Maybe they just have hearing problems.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding, old people. I love you.
They're like, no, we shut everything down. They're like, it doesn't get loud here. They're like, we like it quiet. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, I'm the same way. You know what I mean? They're like, we have a problem. We just call the person in charge and we just shut it down. So I'm like, okay, but it's making me rethink the housewarming party because I can't have that.
Well, you don't have to have like a rager. Again, you are an old man, like you said, Albert. You're like thinking of this like epic movie level
You can
party
even have it
scene.
here.
Yeah, there's ways to do it.
Oh, okay.
Some ideas of what you want.
Then you don't have to. That's what's hard. Sometimes you get a new place and you have a big party, and now you have a big mess in your new place.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a good
true.
idea. I like that.
That
idea.
I do housewarming party at the Cove.
And it could be a goodbye to the Cove too, not a real goodbye.
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
permanent goodbye. We know we'll still see you
Yeah,
sporadically.
only on Sundays.
Only at church.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, that is a good idea because I was just like, man, I'm like, I'm gonna ask for a Irish coffee combo, like,
Yeah.
like, get me this. Like, this is what I need because I'm not gonna be buying any alcohol.
Yeah, that's actually perfect.
Yeah.
No cleanup.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
just go, load the gifts in my car. I gotta go.
Yeah. You just showed up. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm out.
I backed my car in so you guys can put it right in my trunk.
Oh man, very awesome. What do you normally do on Mondays, by the way?
So Mondays I usually have it off. I typically go visit my mom either Sunday when I'm off of work and spend the night. So I wake up there with her on Monday. Or I'll go visit her on Mondays. So Mondays are definitely a mom day.
Yeah.
Since it's a holiday, sorry, Mom, not gonna be able to see you today. But I'll
even though
catch
you
you on
are,
the flip side.
even though you are like a mile or two away, you know.
Yeah,
what I
even though
mean?
you're only a mile or two away, it's a holiday. Okay, I have things to do, Mom. Okay. I'm just kidding.
Isn't that strange though when like your day off lands on a holiday because it's like like, man, like I would normally get this day off, but I have it off already.
I don't mind it because what it does is gives me my friends. So like Mondays, so one of my best friends, we have 0 days off together. But they're off today. So we were going to go hiking this morning, but he actually hurt his back. So that's the reason we couldn't go this morning.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, well, we'll still do something nice. We're going to do something outside. I don't know, picnic or something low key. But it's just like, oh, how nice. Like we never get this opportunity because we don't have any days off together.
Yeah.
So I still enjoy it, even though I do normally have it off, but it's different. It's still different. There's a holiday vibe in the air,
Yeah.
There's a lightness. There's like less stress. People are waving at you instead of flipping you off on the freeways. I'm just kidding.
And what's crazy too is you worked yesterday, usually on a Monday holiday. It gets crazy on Sundays because people have the next day off. How was it doing the kickoff to the Monday off? Was it busy?
It was a little busy. I wouldn't say it was more busy than normal, but since you said that, I am curious how their night was last night. I bet they were pretty busy. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, I was supposed to come in last night because I was telling Abraham, like, oh, I have my first Monday off. I'll come in Sunday, and that didn't happen. Other plans happened. I got like a last second quick radio gig to go do, and I got out like at 8 o'clock, and then I didn't eat. So I've been pro, like if I'm gonna go drink, I better make sure I eat something.
Oh yeah, that's eating waters too, man. Remember being young and we just like take them back. Didn't need food, didn't need water for days.
Yeah, wake up the next morning like, oh, that's all, that's it, that's all you got. Yeah.
There have literally been times where I've had like a few beers and feel like I wake up hangover. It's like, how did I get a hangover? I was hardly drunk.
I know, dude. There's times where
it's just like growing older is changing our
There are
body.
times where I didn't even drink and I woke up hungover, and I'm like, how is this happening?
It's like a delayed. Is this from last week?
Yeah.
You caught up with me.
Yeah, so definitely checking in.
What are you going to be doing with the rest of your day?
My brother is having a BBQ, as I like
Nice.
to say. So I told him I was going to be late, and but I got to drive out to beautiful East Vale, California, and do that. All my family lives that way. Even my bigger family lives all that way. So it's instead of a 40-50 minute drive, now it's going to be like an hour, and it's going to be a little over an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe about an hour and a half to drive everywhere.
That kind of segues into another topic I brought.
Fantastic.
I was going to talk about potlucks and things that we bring. Is your brother doing a potluck today? Or are you guys ordering food?
No, he's barbecuing. However, I got the greatest pro tip on the pod
All right, let's hear
about
about
the potluck,
this.
and I've done it ever since.
Okay.
Okay, so I was going to a potluck. And do you have a potluck move? What's your Andrea? What's your potluck go to? What do you bring for a potluck?
Like a potato salad or
Yeah.
macaroni salad.
I like to bring a side too because it's like not as much pressure as an entree, but still really important. It needs to be delicious.
Yeah, I got a pro tip. Some guy came up to me during the pod because I was going to go to a potluck, and I didn't know what to do. And he goes, dude, you should just buy chicken McNuggets. The people will love it. And we all laughed. And I go, you know what? I'll test it out. And I went, and ever since that day, I have claimed chicken McNuggets as my new potluck
All the
feature.
kids, Uncle Albert's here with the nuggets.
Yeah, everybody's going crazy now. And now my family's like, I want to bring nuggets. And I'm like, no. I got first dibs. I was the first one to do this. I'm like, and it was to the point where last week or 2 weeks ago, I came late and everyone was like, dude, we were wondering if you were going to bring nuggets or not. Like,
We didn't. I left some room on my plate as
Yeah.
I was compiling it because I felt like it needed the nuggets. So where are the nuggets, man?
exactly. And,
Where are they at?
and it's so crazy growing up when like a 6-piece was like $6. Now a 6-piece is like 99 cents. So
What, really?
no, I'm just saying. But a 20-piece, you could buy. Now get this. I bought 60 nuggets, for $20.
Very reasonable.
I couldn't even believe it. I was like, I think they fucked up. And not only that, but the one caveat to that is I was like, oh, could I get them in boxes of 6? They're like, no. Like, you just got to buy it like this.
The big bucket?
Yeah, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, can you give me boxes of 6 and I'll do it myself? They're like, okay. And this place, dude, these people don't know how to count. And I'm thankful for that. Because
Shout out to you, McDonald's workers.
I got an extra 5 nuggets because of this.
Wait, you sat there and counted them?
I did, because I was putting them in box. Because last time, what happened was I just gave out 10. I gave them out in stacks of 10, and not everybody got nuggets. So I was like, okay, in order to kind of round that out, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it in stacks a little bit less. That way, more people can get nuggets. And so I did it like that. Why don't you know they gave me 65 nuggets?
Wow.
And those 5 I ate. I'm like, well, these are now my nuggets.
Free nuggets.
Yeah.
Eat them.
And I love how now McDonald's automatically, if you don't ask for sauce, they just give you the barbecue. They know that that's the best sauce.
I've actually never had it with the barbecue sauce. I gotta try.
What?
I don't really eat nuggets, or I don't really go to McDonald's very often. But I do like McDonald's. I just don't get to go very much. And
Yeah.
when I do, I want that cheeseburger.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Gotta get on this nugget game now.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
It's a winner every time. People are surprised. People are like, the nugget is the best thing. If it wasn't for the nuggets, I don't think McDonald's would be as popular as it is today. Now, that's just my theory. I know nothing. I don't know stock. I don't, this is just what I think. Mm-hmm. So,
Nice.
yeah. So that's my potluck game now.
Yeah, I like that too because it really makes the kids happy. I always like taking something that the kids like the mac and cheese or the something fun. I don't know. I like making the kids happy without having to make the entree.
I have this whole bit about everything's for the kids these days.
Oh, yeah.
It's always for the kids. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it is.
fuck that for the adults. What are we doing for the adults?
I know. Well, we used to do that when we were younger. My family had rules about everything. Christmas presents, Easter egg hunts. Like we had age cap, and we had
Wow.
rules. And pretty much once you were 13, you were like, you're done. You're out. No more Christmas presents.
Wow.
You don't get Christmas presents anymore once you turn 13 and stuff like that. And my family was really weird. But then then there was a point where most of the kids were like teenagers and we weren't doing anything
Right.
anymore. So we created this like second one of like
Second
okay,
Christmas?
this is like a second. Well, the second one's like we did Easter egg hunts, but instead of putting candy in it, the parents would put like money in it, but
Okay.
like bigger bills, not just like change. you
Yeah.
know? So that was kind of fun. But yeah, I think more families should do that. I would totally do it like an adult Easter egg hunt and hide like little
Beers.
fun drugs and little small
Beers and-
alcohol
yeah.
bottles and money.
Yeah. I'd be down for that. Something for the adults, for sure.
Speaking of that, I actually was at this arcade in Pasadena. It's called Neon. And I had like the best time. They charge per hour there, so it's not like you pay for each individual machine. But it made
Really?
me want to go. Yeah, because everyone's like, well, haven't you ever been to Dave & Buster's? It's like, no, I know what it is.
Yeah.
I've been to it to like for social events, but I've never played anything because it's like, I don't want to play those dumb little kid games. But now I'm rethinking this, like, actually, after a few beers, I bet I would love to play those
Yeah.
stupid kid games.
Dude,
So now I'm making a Dave & Buster's trip.
Dude, I would always play their Time Crisis too. Anything with guns, I was like, oh, I gotta
Yeah.
play this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or I like the racing ones too.
Yeah. I like video games now. Before I always had a very odd relationship with video games because I'm like, man, this takes way too much time, and I'm not good at this.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a gamer by any means. I do like to play certain games, but like crossword puzzles and Sudoku.
Solitaire. Yeah.
Simple mind games. But yeah, that's so funny. I've never been a gamer, but in my generation, my class, I remember my fellow classmen at the time, gaming was so huge at that time. It's like you had to have all the consoles, all the games. It's just like, oh, don't you guys have anything else to talk about besides video games?
Yeah, good times.
So what's going on with your ESCO process? When's that going to close?
Towards the end of I'm like January. I mean June. Like what month are we in? To the end of June. It's looking like so June, July. I'll be moving in. But you gave me a little tip. Now I paid my rent up until September, and I'm like, okay, I can leave some stuff there. And I already talked to my landlord, and I'm like, I wasn't gonna be like, I want my money back, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna not take my time. I'm gonna take a lot of stuff first trip, and then I'll just come back for the rest. But I ran into Marcus, who's been on the show and bartends here at the Cove, and he goes, "Oh, dude," he's like, "I got a truck and I have a trailer that could fit all your stuff in there. He's like, we could just bang it out in like that day." And I'm like, okay, like I'll see what could happen. I'm like, we don't have to, but I just want to take the major stuff, the big stuff, and put it in. And so we'll see what happens. But I do like that idea, and I already told my landlord, like, look, I'm gonna come back. You don't have to worry about cleaning up. I'm gonna clean up the space, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm leaving it in much better condition than when I got it. So there is that aspect of it, and there's some other stuff that I want to do to improve that place a little bit, because there's like these little cracks where all the crickets would come in, and I filled some of them, but I didn't fill all of them.
Yeah.
So whoever gets my place they're not going to have a cricket problem like I did.
You're welcome, next person.
Yeah. Although I will say this, my toilet and my sink is a little damaged. Just because of, like, my sink I had to use for everything. To brush my teeth, to do dishes, just everything. So it's a little damaged, so I'm sure they're going to replace that. And I don't know what they're going to do about the toilet, but it's a little stained. I hit the toilet hard. And that was the crazy thing, too, was I did a walkthrough before I purchased it. They're like, hey, let's go check it out. And I did a walkthrough, and this woman had the place such pristine condition. And even I go, man, I got to use the restroom. I'm like, think she'll mind? They're like, yeah, go ahead and use the restroom. So I used it. And I'm just like,
Let me really give this baby a test drive. Really make sure it's built to last.
Exactly. And I'm just thinking, like, man, if I ever sell this, like, I better make sure I get a new toilet, because I really blow it up. You know what I mean? So, it just has me thinking about that. Like, the next person that gets my place, they're going to be like, man, this toilet. Like, look.
This whole place is great except the toilet.
my throne, as they would say. So, yeah. So, that's just... And then the way she had it, really... She had it really decked out like, this all could be yours if you did it like this. And it gave me some ideas, but there's some stuff that I'm like, okay, that was your idea. Now I want to do my idea of how I think this place should look. And I'm actually thinking about later on constructing a second room.
Very cool.
Yeah, because, and it's weird because now I'm talking, like, one of my other buddies that I work with, he just purchased a condo, and now we're having like condo talks.
Adulting. I get to say the word condo a lot today.
Yeah, and it's good because we're like, oh, what are you financing at? What are you? You know what I mean?
Albert, I was asking, are there association fees?
There is an HOA, as they call it. What's your HOA? Oh, what's yours? And I have a high HOA. Like, my HOA is a lot. My HOA is like
all HOAs have gone up so much, man. It is crazy. Their HOAs are a lot more than they used to be.
Yeah, but I got some advice from my real estate agent, and it was funny. She's like, what you do is you get on the HOA board.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, you run for HOA board, and then he's like, you could see where the money's going, and you could really make some change. So I'm like, dude, look at me. Like, before I had
Oh my gosh, I'm a potential HOA board member already. Wow.
And I want to use that like as a pickup line, you know,
it's like, hey, baby, have you ever dated an HOA president before?
Exactly. Not only that, can I tell you my credit score? 819.
Boom. Are you in? Oh, wow. Good
Yeah.
for you. I worked really hard for a while to get mine over 8.
Yeah.
It took me years.
Yeah, I don't know how long mine has been like that, but they're like my financier was like, "Wow, great job, 819."
Shout out to good credit scores.
Yeah, I'm like I'm 10% more prettier or handsomer or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's funny.
It was you know what's weird is I've been using the pod maybe for bad reasons. I don't know bad, but let me throw this in your mind. And I did something that I've never done before, which is I did a wedding this week, and throughout this wedding, I met the maid of honor. Oh man, I don't know if I should talk about. Well, I met the maid of honor 2 times, and then the wedding 3, right? And each time we've had a really great conversation, very smart, and and then I'm like, oh, I have a podcast. You should listen to it. And this is something that it's weird to publicize the podcast outside of the Cove. I normally don't do that, especially at work, because I don't know, like I like to keep my work and that separate. And that was the first time that I ever like crossed that line of like, oh, you should listen to my podcast, like.
You need to get business cards, Albert.
I know.
That's the move. That's the move.
Is it? I don't know why
Boom.
I don't.
Business card, baby.
Yeah,
And
but
you got to get the little thing that they could scan.
yeah, the QR code.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel more comfortable talking about the podcast here than outside of that.
In the real world.
In the real world, where I'm not saying where it matters, but like like I don't know why, because I feel this podcast is so West Covina centric in a way. It's very local, In my opinion, I'm like, nobody would want to listen to that. I don't know.
I mean, you never know. Maybe they don't. But the thing is, like, you won't know until you tell them. Until they give them, people are only capable of what you allow them to be capable of. So if they don't know about it, then they're never going to listen.
Yeah. So she's like, yeah, I'll listen to it. And I'm like, really? I'm like, all right. I wrote it down and my email down. I'm like, here's everything. I'm like, and she's like, maybe I'll be a guest. And I'm like, here's my phone number. Like, if you want to be a guest, because we need guests.
Yeah.
Obviously, nobody's clamoring to be a guest, and
well, today's a holiday.
yeah, there is that too. So yeah, so that and I was just like, should I have done that? Should I have like pushed the pod? But we'll see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I'm trying to come to grips with. Is all that, because like no one's gonna know about this show unless like I tell them, I touch people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's weird because and then when I'm like, oh yeah, we've done like 130 shows, you're like, what? So it's weird to be kind of successful, I guess, as a podcast. I don't know if this is success, but I get to do it in a bar, and not any bar, but just the Cove. So. Yeah. But do you do that? Do you like publicize what you do as far as like being a bartender or anything like that?
I'm glad you're bringing this up because that's actually a new topic. I think I am ready for a drink. I'm gonna have a Bloody Mary.
Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna do a michelada with Budweiser, no salt on the rim.
No salt?
No salt or anything other.
You want the works?
Not too spicy, but yes.
Okay.
I'm glad you said that because that's actually something that is new for me. So I've always been a really private person. No matter what, if I met someone, I would be very vague about what I did. But now I'm in a company or I'm in a business or, where you want to encourage people to come in. It's good for business.
Right.
And so it's like, or if you say a bartender, the next question anyone's going to ask is, where
you?
at?
Yeah.
So the first, I've been doing it. It's like, I tell people, tell them about the Cove and they come in. But it can backfire because there was this, I was at a red carpet event with my friend.
Yeah.
I met someone who then, and we couldn't stay party too long because I worked in the morning. They asked where I worked, of course. The next morning they were here too.
Yeah.
They came in for a couple of weeks. They were very nice and everything.
Yeah.
But it made me a little bit like, okay, I need to also be a little careful because it is telling someone where you work.
Right.
So I don't know. It's something I gotta guess find the soft spot on. It's something that I'm really new to and have been thinking about this. So it's so funny you brought this up. How do you handle it? You just tell all the women where to find you?
No. No, well, I mean, yeah, no. Well, here's the thing. Well, but again, this show is so different because there are times where I get fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, do I really
Want to tell people?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because it's like, dude, you're gonna. I mean, I'm a great person, but you're gonna, hear me kind of a little fucked up. And
Yeah.
let's face it, I'm not at my best when I'm fucked up.
But you know what I think is the advantage of that is that's real. That's who you are. And I feel like whenever you're yourself, you're going to attract and bring the right energy. If you're like hiding it or if there's a facade, then I don't know, you're going to, attract the wrong people. And if someone's deterred by that, like, oh my gosh, he's being really drunk, then it's like probably not someone for
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean?
But then, if I could just do a caveat to that, I'm only getting drunk because that's part of the show. I'm not like.
Oh, okay. Just for professional reasons.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Albert. My mistake.
I have to start saying that. I'm drunk for professional reasons, man. Look.
This is
okay?
research, okay?
Yeah.
It's for my job.
And I do that too because they're like, they're like, oh, what do you drink? I'm like, everything. I'm like, you have to, because if you're a bartender, you got to know what the latest, drink du jour is.
Yeah, that's true.
So you got to be hip with, what's cool and what you can do.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? That reminds me, there's a drink that I wanted to try that I accidentally came up with. So it was at the end of the night of the wedding. We closed out the wedding, but some of the servers came in, and I know them because they were able to get some of the wives of the base to come help, and that now they're like, this is brilliant because they don't have to do background checks or anything. They live on the base. Mm-hmm. And one of them was I used to work with. Her name is Izzy. And so she's like, oh man, I really want a drink. And I'm like, you know what? You get one because I know you used to work here, and let's do it. And then there was another girl with her that's like, yeah, I want one too. I'm like, all right, cool. And then they're like, okay, I want orange juice. They wanted basically a madras.
Oh, madras, okay.
Right, which for those that don't know, this is orange juice, cranberry, and vodka. But I was comfortable enough with them to be like, you know what? Because our orange juice isn't out of a gun. We have to open up, a thing of orange juice. Mm-hmm. And I go, you know what? I'm like, we haven't opened up any new containers of orange juice all night, and I'm not going to open it up for
one splash of something.
Yeah, they started laughing, and I'm like, sorry. They're like, we get it. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. And they're like, what else do you have? I'm like, pineapple. Is that the Bloody Mary or the Michelada? Bloody Mary.
Thank you.
And and I'm like, I do have pineapple, and they're like, yeah, let's try it. And I'm like, okay, so I made a cranberry, pineapple, and vodka. And they're like, man, this is really great. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I got to try that. So that'll be my next drink. But that sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah, it does sound really good. I think the soft, pineapple juice is like a smoothness, like the acidity maybe. I don't know. I think it's perfect for the alcohol. Well, cheers.
Cheers to you. And
cheers, world.
Yep.
Cheers. Happy Memorial Day, everyone.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I know. Have a great Memorial Day.
Ooh, this is great.
Yeah, but I was trying to think. Is there a cranberry and pineapple drink with vodka? I think there is.
We have, not with vodka. We have a cocktail with gin that has pineapple and cranberry.
Really?
It's really good. It's called the Pink Panther.
Oh, is that what's in
Very
it?
good.
Yes.
It is very good.
I was in here. I think I came in on Wednesday. That's when I unofficially opened up escrow. Mm-hmm. It happened in the morning, but I came in, and it just so happened that Damaris was here, bartending by herself. Opening up the 5 a.m. or the 5 p.m. shift, and she's like, "Oh, what would you like?" And I was just like, let's go gin and tonic." And I go, "Wait a minute, you're here." I'm like, a Pink Panther, it didn't hit that, I'm like, because she makes it. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh man, I'm like, let's get a Pink Panther. It's a rarity that I see you, and it's a rarity that I get to
She's
have
the
this
creator
drink.
of that drink.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know.
Yeah, and it's a really good drink.
Very good. If you like gin, we have several gin cocktails that are really good, but that is definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, yeah. So I was able to have it there, and I was gonna go 2, but I go no, just 1. I have a mortgage now. That's my new thing. I have a mortgage now. Like
Almost. He's still in escrow.
yeah.
He keeps going, yeah, Maria, stop saying that. I just like to always be prepared.
Yeah, exactly. No, thank you, and thank you for that. So so we'll try that out after this drink, and that'll probably be my final drink. But we'll see. But one of the things that I like to do, and I've told people about this, is whenever I have a michelada, I always go with Budweiser, and everybody's like, "Why don't you go with a Mexican beer?" I'm like, I don't know what it is, but a Budweiser and a michelada is the best. And
I have a lot of people who get micheladas with Bud Light.
with Bud Light, but this is just Budweiser.
Oh, okay, then that's weird.
And if you want to try it, I was gonna. Yeah, I'm not throwing it on you, but if you want to try it,
Sure, I'll try it.
take the Pepsi challenge on that one.
Ooh, very smooth, refreshing.
Right?
I like it actually better than the Bud Light because I feel like the Bud Light's too light
Yeah.
for the michelada.
Yeah.
But that is really good because you can taste it.
Yeah.
It's really good. I
Yeah.
like it. All right, you just sold me. My next michelada will have Budweiser.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm pro that. You know.
Pro Budweiser. Pro
Yeah.
American beers and
Yeah.
Mexican drinks.
Exactly. So, which is such a perfect thing because that's America, a hodgepodge, if you will, of different ethnicities, different people, all going on for this country.
Yeah, like on that note, I actually went to a sixth grade graduation earlier in the week. And in the same city I grew up in, Covina. I remember growing up, I went to Glen Oak Elementary School. Shout out to the Eagles, class of 96. Whoop, whoop. But I went to Glen Oak Elementary School, and at that time, there were not a lot of brown people. I remember feeling very, like I stuck out like a sore thumb. I was so dark when I was little because I lived in the sun. I was like practically purple. Like I was really dark.
Yeah.
So I felt like I stood out because I went to school with all white people. When I went to this graduation earlier in the week, which is a elementary school which was very local to mine, I was surprised by the amount of different ethnicities that I saw. It was really kind of emotional for me. Like, wow, look at all this. Like, everyone was represented. No one felt like there was tons. I mean,
Right.
there were hardly any white people. I think it was like, now the white kids are the ones who stand out. It's like, oh, there's a second one over there. I see it. But besides that, you're right. I love the mixing pot, the melting pot, where we're melting together more and more. And it's, I think, a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that is America at its finest, and that is our military too. So just a hodgepodge of different people coming together for one good cause, for our country. And speaking of people coming together, let's get into some sports. What do you say?
Sorry, David, you're better in this category than me.
He's better than
I do love Dodgers. Love
Yeah.
Dodgers.
I'm the same way. Like this sports thing is like so funny because it's like I only follow the Dodgers. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people do follow all the sports. I just am not one of them.
yeah, neither am I. But it's weird. Is you should because you work at a bar and
I know. I feel really bad because people are like, "Oh, isn't the basketball or isn't the game on?" And I'll be like, "What season is it? I don't even know what sports are playing right now."
yeah, that's the one thing that I'm really good at is I don't know what's on, but like before I start my shift, I'll turn on the TVs and I'll just look around and I'll be like, what can I play for these for the patrons?
You are very good at setting a mood. I will say that. I think that you are excellent in that. Like, okay, what are people going to, this is something people are going to want to watch.
Yeah.
Just the other day you weren't here in the morning. It was me and Christian. We were all alone. It was like slow. And then only the TV on. And then Casey Montoya comes on. And I'm like, if Albert was here, he'd ask us how her outfit was.
Yeah.
And then we're quiet. And I was like, so what do you think of her outfit? Albert knew
Yeah.
we needed a topic point in the morning and gave it to us.
And so, I mean, that Casey Montoya, man, I gotta get her on, man. I would love to have her on. If anybody,
Shout out to Casey Montoya.
yeah, because I mean, we would talk about fashion. I
Yeah.
think the entire time.
Yeah, just like be like, you have certain dates of specific outfits we need to talk about, Casey, all right?
And these are the dates. What was going on?
You don't remember the color you wore? I just want to know who picked that out. Who did it?
Let me pick out all of your clothes. You know.
Was it her who like needed her husband or someone to bring a second outfit?
No, that was. I think that was what's her name, Devin.
Oh, okay.
I believe the
That's
entertainment
funny.
reporter
Okay,
on the weekend.
okay.
Yeah.
That was funny. But
Yeah, and that's what I love about the Channel 5. You know what I mean? In the
Yeah.
morning is you got that one topic, and it's a great icebreaker. And shout out to Abraham for showing me that channel, and now I'm a devotee.
yeah, I just have to remember to change it after a while because I forget because my back's to it, and then I guess church follows
Yeah,
the news.
yeah.
So people are always like, why are we in church? So that I'm still improving. Okay, I have a lot to learn still, people.
Yeah,
But yeah, back to sports.
yeah. Back to sports, which is but this is the quintessential sports segment for that. But there are times where I'm looking for something on and nothing's on. So like I have like a backup, which is there's always like the golf channel. I'm like, there's always golf on.
I'd rather turn my TV off.
But I mean, it's for a bar, so you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's
So I'm
true.
like, okay, but then there are times where I find those gems of like motocross or the Bigfoots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, people are gonna love this. And I put it on. You know what I mean? It's cool.
Yeah.
The one thing that I do not put on is wrestling. That's one thing because I don't want. Cause sometimes we have kids and stuff like that come in, and I just don't want them
Send
to.
the wrong message.
Yeah, or them to start horse playing around, and then,
That's a good point. See, very like that's what I'm saying. Like about you setting a mood. Like you're very conscious of how someone else is enjoying it, which
Yeah.
is a good attribute. A lot of people should be more like that.
Yeah, so good times. I know. I love this song. This
Yeah,
is
it's a good
the
song.
Third Eye Blind. Speaking of which, I was so pissed. I had to work a wedding, not this last wedding, but the wedding before, and one of the great concerts was going on in Pasadena with
the-
Interpol and Modest Mouse.
Oh yeah, I think
Just Like
Violent
Heaven.
Femmes were there.
Yeah, I believe it was called Just Like Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, and I was like, I get it. I'm like, I gotta work, and I went to the first one like in 2019, and I was all hyped for every year after that. And then the pandemic happened, obviously, but I was like, oh man, I haven't seen Interpol in a long time. I've never seen Modest Mouse, and there's all these bands like, oh fuck, I was just salivating, and my gig that I have, like a wedding, is something that I can't. Those are like one of those dates that you just can't miss.
Yeah.
You have to be there. Was there ever a time where you missed out on a concert that you wanted to go to because you had to work?
Tons of times.
Really?
Yeah, there have been times because, like, honestly, I sometimes buy tickets way in advance, like the year before and things like that. So it's like, and then I'm trying to be really organized with getting everything on my calendar but there are times that things slip through. Oh, I didn't add that to my calendar, and I forgot till I got the email reminder or something. And sometimes things just happen. So absolutely, it's the worst when it's like, dang, I wish we could have gone to that. I actually did want to go to that, but I don't know. I'm also like at that age where festivals are just a bit much for me. I like them, but I'm very particular about the festivals I'll choose to go to because it's like, it's a lot of hard work, as we mentioned before. We're just full circle.
Yeah.
A lot of fun is hard work.
So the only reason why I mind festivals is because you only get a preview of the band.
Yeah, they're not playing full sets. They're playing like, quarter sets,
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
But the caveat to that is they're just playing the hits. They're just
Yeah,
like, look, we're
that's
just going to
true.
play.
And then by the end of the day, you get a laundry list of great bands you just saw in one day instead of, one.
Yeah, so there is a balance. But that venue, I remember going and it gets hot there because there's really no shade.
Is that the
and
one at the Bowl or is that the Royal Seco?
the Royal? No, the one that's at the bowl, but it's like on the polo field or the golf. You know where?
Yeah.
I forgot how
Yeah,
to describe it.
Yeah, I've been to a festival there. I went to what's it called? Oh, Arroyo Seco. I think they called
Yeah.
they had a Arroyo Seco festival. So yeah, it's near there. I think I know that general area.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, that's cool.
soccer. Anything going on in soccer?
There are some
You're a
things
soccer person.
I do like soccer. I mostly follow Arsenal though, and because a lot of the games are at different times when I'm sleeping, I really have to watch a lot of recaps and read about it. We have an Arsenal fan right there, Ramon.
Ramoncito.
Do you have any Arsenal updates for us? He said no.
I had that mic off. I didn't know you were
Oh,
going
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just funny. He said no. Oh no, I was talking to Ramon.
Yeah. Basketball, the finals have been announced, and it's going to be the Golden State Warriors versus the Celtics in the finals.
Does that mean like?
This
Is the finals like the finals?
Yes, the final is the final.
It's like the like World Series of
Yeah,
basketball?
that's how I
Okay.
describe it. Yes, the World Series of basketball is happening, and
I
it's
don't
going
watch basketball, sorry. I do like the Lakers though.
Yeah.
Go like
and as people know, I am a Laker bandwagon jumper. You know what I mean? When they're doing horrible, I don't watch them. When they're doing good, I don't watch them. I'm like, I only watch Lakers in the finals. You know what I mean? Because
when the energy's there,
yeah. I'm like, because that's when they need the fair weather bandwagon fan.
Yeah.
In when they're in it, you know.
Absolutely.
Dodgers doing fantastic as always. Just won their second sweep in a couple weeks, so that's going good.
Yeah, this is a good part of the season when they've kind of warmed up now. You
Yeah.
know, have their good positions and lineups.
I have yet to make it out to a game, and I'm looking forward to making it out. But I can't go all extravagant now. Now that I'm a mortgage homeowner.
There are definitely ways to save. I mean, I like to take my own food to Dodger Stadium, especially if I'm going to go to a lot of games that season, because
Yeah.
that stuff adds up. I mean, I love a Dodger dog, don't get me wrong, but $19 for a beer, I can't do that too often. So pregame,
And I don't mind those bleed seats. You know what I mean? As
Oh, I-
long as I'm there.
I strongly
And
believe...
I get the bobblehead. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I strongly believe there's not a bad seat in Dodger Stadium. They all offer different viewpoints, which are enjoyable. It's like I would hate to see the game from the same view all the time. Like there's something enjoyable about getting it from a different angle. I'm higher now, I'm lower now, I'm on the
Yeah.
right field, I'm on the left field, and no matter where you see it, it's beautiful and fun.
I just don't do the pavilion seats.
Oh, I love Pavilion. Pavilion's awesome.
Pavilion.
Pavilion's so much fun.
I can't do it. I
just
just
too uncomfortable. You know, there's
yeah.
bleacher seats you could buy, and they're like padded, and they
Really?
connect to the bleachers, and they give you a backrest.
That would probably those are that's my speed. It's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah, you
and
are getting up there. Just kidding.
My gout starts hitting in. I'm just like,
The best time ever I had was me and Damaris. We drove into Union Station. We parked the car there. Then we went to take a little walk, you know, before getting on the bus. And so we went to Alvera Street and had a little, session.
Yeah.
And then we were walking back to get on the bus, and we're all, hey, look at these scooters over here. And she's all, have you ever ridden a scooter, Ange? I'm all, no. And she's all, so can we ride them up to Dodger Stadium? She's all, yeah. So we hooked up, we got the scooters, we purchased them, and we rode scooters all buzzed going up the...
jeez.
It was a blast. It was so much fun. I crashed a couple times, but
Did you hurt yourself? Probably.
no. I could have. I think about it now because they say there's a lot of accidents on those scooters.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have a helmet or whatever, and we didn't. We just we were in free for all. It was spontaneous.
Right.
But that was the best thing about it. It was the spontaneousness of going and, catching a game. As soon as we get off, it's like, okay, so hot. What do we, and then there's a little guy right there selling Modelo's.
Yeah,
And the
fantastic.
ice chest. I'm all, heck yes. We drank that Modelo on the way in. And it was a blast. We had a good time. We did that a few times last year, me and Damaris. And I miss it. I haven't been to a game yet.
Yeah.
But I want to go and hang out.
It's I think it's
Working
such
so much.
Yeah, that's what happened to I think a lot of us is we're just working a lot, and as much as we prioritize the Dodgers, it's not in our priority.
Well, I think it's because we were off so long, for that 15 months. I know it's been almost 2 years now since the pandemic, but we were off for so long, and now I feel like I'm playing catch up all the time now, or just not wanting, maybe scared, not wanting to get in that position ever again.
Yeah.
Of how the pandemic just abruptly
Yeah.
stopped your life. And what are we going to do now, type of thing. So I don't want to ever be in that position again.
Yeah. Totally.
But the best thing about it is this place is like booming big time. It's nothing but been good things since we've opened here. And it's been like amazing, like the amount of business we have and everything just going, smoothly and everything here.
Yeah.
It's been really, really good.
Any topics that you want to discuss, Andrea? I mean, we finally have you on, and you're on camera and everything. Anything you want to discuss with us?
I don't know. You put me on the spot. Let me think about it for a minute.
No worries.
What about you? Did you have any more topics, Albert?
I didn't. I'm kind of all out. This week has been just kind of a whirlwind with purchasing a condo and, just being a little too busy. I feel like life right now is moving too fast. I lead such a slow life, and now everything's just kind of snowballing, and I feel like I'm pressing fast forward on everything, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I'm just like my life is very turtle-esque, where it's like I like things slow and but now everything's kind of speeding up. So
I
Hence
believe
the
that the
turtle.
I think the faster, I think the older I get, the faster time goes, or feels like it goes. I
Yeah.
know time always stays the same, but it feels like it goes faster the older I get.
yeah.
When I was little, I remember summer vacation felt like, oh my gosh, 3 months till I see my friends. It's forever. And now, like 5 years goes in the blink of an eye. It's
Yeah.
like, what? It's been 5 years since that.
And like not only that, but summer, the 3 months that you had off, the transitions that people would go through, and then you'd come back and you're like, oh my God, you have like long hair.
Your voice is deeper.
Yeah. You lost like
So
1,000
got
pounds.
boobs already.
Yeah, it's like three months you can really make a transition,
Yeah, that's true.
But now 3 months is like, oh, it's
3 months is like a week.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't
you
see any
next week.
difference. Yeah.
I completely agree.
Any last topics for you, Maria?
No, I really wanted to talk about the SNL, and I wanted to talk about the potluck. I did want to just tell everyone to have a fun and safe Memorial Day.
Very, very cool. Andre, did you think about anything?
I'm just looking forward to football season. Is anybody else looking forward to football? We have it preseason and come August.
Yes, I am, but I'm not, because now that my future plans include Inglewood, I'm like 2 or 3 miles away from SoFi Stadium. So, I'm like, what is my traffic life going to be there?
Ooh, interesting. I'm going to start parking
Park
at
at
your
Albert's.
house. Yeah, I was like, I'm going to
Park
start
at
parking
Albert's.
Albert, give me a ride to SoFi
Tailgate
and
it.
pick me up when
Tailgate it right
it's
there.
over.
I can, for a phenomenal fee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I'll let you.
For one bottle.
Yeah, but here's the other thing too: is right now I have 2 bikes, bicycles, and I think I can only afford to take one back.
You could stack them. They have bike racks that you could stack them on the wall. Oh, you just want to take one? Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
but like you could come park by my place
And take the bike?
and then take the bike to SoFi.
You should always have a second bike for somebody that comes over.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
right.
that's a good
should always
idea.
have
Then
one.
it's like, oh,
You're
yeah,
right.
let's go bike riding together. What a great date move.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I did? I noticed that in Huntington Beach they have these little shuttles, like they're little like oversized golf carts, and it's free. You just call them if you're a resident in the area. You call them and they'll come pick you up and take you downtown, and
That
you just
is
give
so cool.
they work off tips. And this girl picked us up we had brunch the other morning downtown, and we got picked up. Well, actually, we got picked up, dropped off, and picked up.
That is so cool.
And it was the
that.
coolest thing. It was like that maybe something you can do something that you can do in that area. People are like, trying to get to the stadium, or you have like this little cart.
get a little golf cart out
Right.
And it's like an oversized
Or-
golf cart that fits like up to six-
turtle mobile.
Yeah.
You can paint it like a turtle.
That'd be
you know,
kinda
shell.
And she had an ice chest, and she has like some she had some waters, cold water. So
I
it
like
was
those seltzer water.
Yeah.
Or seltzer water. It was like some kind of soda
Topo
water.
Chicas.
Yeah.
Topo Chicos.
But it was like so awesome that the town is doing that for the residents there.
Yeah. That is such a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me definitely want to do like a weekend out there or something. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
And
for
right
sure.
now today I'm just like so jealous. I'm looking at the TV, and it's like everything's happening downtown at the beach. Like there's different venues going on, different bands playing all day long, and they're really celebrating out there.
Oh, that sounds cool.
I know.
Oh my
And it's
gosh, maybe I'll go over there later
You
because I'm looking for
you
something
should.
to do.
You should.
Okay,
It's
that
really,
sounds
really
fun.
nice.
You know what's crazy is nobody thinks of themselves as a beach person until they like live by the beach. Then they're like, you know what? I am a beach person, you know?
I used to be, this sounds weird, but I used to be like embarrassed to be a beach person because I grew up and my family, we used to vacation every year in Rosarito's beach. So I thought it made me like very Mexican. And I told you I grew up like predominantly with white people.
Yeah.
So I used to like be quiet that I was like this beach person, like a closet beach person. Until I got older and you're more self-assured with who you are.
Oh, we grew up doing that Rosarito. We grew up doing Rosarito every year.
I loved it. Every year
It
we'd get
was-
our house right on the beach, and I just love that feeling, waking up, feeling the ocean water, and having sand in everything
Yes.
for like weeks. When you come home, it's like you're still finding sand. You're like good old Mexico.
Now, the last time I went to Rosarito, I did an Airbnb out there a couple of times, and like all five girls went, and it was like
I
a
would
blast.
definitely do. I would totally
A
jump on that. I
blast.
love it. They have ATVs you could rent. You could go horseback riding. I love you laying on the beach and like jewelry comes to you.
Yeah,
That's like the best.
Any
like, oops,
drinks?
yeah,
The
it's
big
like I
old,
didn't even mean to go
Palomas
shopping
coming
right
up
now.
and then for sale.
So I am a big old beach person.
Dude, Mexico does the beach right. Like, there are so many restrictions now in American beaches.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. That's why Mexican beach is the best.
Yeah.
We
I
can do
remember in the
anything we want.
90s we went, and there was a techno like beach party and techno music and dancing, and it was like the funnest thing I ever did in my life. And that's when like the house music was just pumping back then, and we had so much fun dancing on the beach that weekend. It was like just a bonus from the camping and like doing all the whole, family thing. And then it was like go out at night, and we didn't have to go to Papa's and Beer. There was
Yeah.
just a big old beach party. So much fun, a blast.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our sports segment.
When women join the sports segment,
Yes.
this is what happens. Yeah, woman power.
This is the official last call for topics, official last call for any topic that needs to be discussed.
I know a couple of people have gotten this from our customer Min. It's the military dog tags that in honor of his brother. So I wore this today in honor of Min and his fallen brother soldier.
Yes, let's take a moment to observe that and the people that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. That's what today, again, is most importantly about for those that can't be with us. And there is no better way to thank them than to be with your family and hug your family today and just let them know that they are appreciated. So I need to do more, like I feel
Sure.
that I should have woken up this morning. I mean, I did, but I should have woken up and gone to some sort of flag
Memorial
planting ceremony or something like that. Maybe that's something that I need to start creating and, doing something in Inglewood or, wherever I wind up at, just looking up that and being more, I'm very appreciative of everything that's happened for me and for all the other veterans. But
I think you do it already.
Yeah.
Being on the base and doing the things that
Yeah.
you do on the base, and that gives you.
Even
You know.
interacting with one, person who you impact and don't know that you impacted. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think you do it more than you realize.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like the gentleman that was here a minute
Yeah,
ago and
yeah.
knew that you guys were both Marines. And,
Yeah. Oh man,
you know.
me and him. Every November 10th, we're here. We're here, and we're just.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
You know, that's what it's all about. You know.
Yes.
The Marines is a cult, as we say. It isn't a service; it's a cult. You know, it's like meeting other Marines is always great. You know. So thank you to everyone. Oh, last topic. I saw the Top Gun.
Ooh.
Yeah, I saw it. Were you a Top Gun fan? Are you a Tom Cruise fan?
I'm not a Tom Cruise fan. I have to be honest. I've never seen Top Gun.
What?
I know.
Oh my God! I can't wait to see it. Don't tell me anything, Albert. Don't tell me anything.
I wanted to see. I think I might still see it just because I'm really like gunning for some movie theater time.
Yeah.
But it's I'm
Well,
not a big Tom
Netflix
Cruise
is the original Top Gun's on Netflix right now.
Is it?
So we actually watched
Maybe
it.
I should.
We watched it this week with my grandson, because my grandson knew nothing about Top Gun. And so we all as a family sat down and watched it the other day. Looking forward to being able to see the second one together. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say anything about the movie
There
then, but
are
do
no
it.
spoilers in this, but I will say this. You know, if you just want to just sit down and just not think about anything, it's a good movie.
There you go.
You know, it's like, hey, I'm in
Sold.
it for the ride, you know, and for those that, and it's funny, dude, because when I went with a buddy of mine, and we went like at 10 o'clock at night, and we went to a non-commercial theater to go see it. It was like, it's called like Star something. I was just like, what? This is a theater? But anyway, that's it was a nice theater regardless. But, you know, we came in and we're like, dude, we got here. Is there any more tickets left? Is it sold out? And she goes, no. They're like, you're like the fourth person to buy this ticket. And we're like, oh, man. So we're like, has it not been selling? And they're like, oh, no. All the afternoon things and stuff have been selling.
But no one comes in the morning?
Or no, they're like, but no one comes at night. And I told my buddy, I'm like, it makes sense. This demographic would not be up right now.
That's pretty funny.
You usually do a matinee, don't you?
I'm a matinee guy, yeah, for
I love
sure.
matinees too. I love matinees because like it doesn't take your whole day. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, you just pop in, pop out, nothing too crazy. Really enjoyed it. So I'm on the go ahead and Top Gun. You know, it has a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of a High School Musical moment in there. The nostalgia is
Do you
there.
have to see the first one to see the second one?
No, because they totally Karate Kid or they totally
Cobra Kai'd.
it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Where they put
It's
little
its own little story, kind of. You don't need to see it.
yeah, and they and from the actual movie too.
Yeah, you guys have sold me. Okay, I definitely want to see the old one now and the new one.
Yeah, my other critique about it is the girl Kelly McGinnis isn't in it, and Meg Ryan isn't in it. So
Didn't even know she was in the first one.
yeah, she plays a small role
Okay.
in it as.
But it would have been cool.
It
to,
would have
like-
been cool to have her
Meg
in
Ryan?
there. Yeah, she didn't come out in it.
She did?
No, she didn't.
Oh,
she
she
didn't.
didn't.
She didn't. And the other girl, Kelly McGinnis, didn't come out in
I
it.
noticed that.
And I was so pissed. I was like, how could you not bring them back? You know, but Val Kilmer comes out in it, which was super interesting because for those that don't know, Val Kilmer lost his voice. There's an amazing documentary that he did on Amazon Prime,
So good.
and it's about Val Kilmer. And during his time, what happened is he took footage of all of his movies that he was in, and he, you know, does a documentary about his life, and it's really good. So
I really want to watch that. Yeah, I've been really wanting to see that.
yeah, so
What's it called? You have to tell me.
I forgot what it's called, but I saw when it first came out.
I think
'cause
it's called Val.
Is it?
VAL,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong.
So that was really interesting and good. It talks about like him losing his voice and everything like that.
So he's permanently lost his voice.
Yes.
Oh my goodness,
Yes.
I have to watch it. He's such a good actor. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it just
My
talk,
favorite.
and it's really cool because he talks about his ego and stuff like that, and everything that he was going through, and You know, it's a very humbling experience. You know what I mean? To get, especially, I mean, some of us have. I think I have a major ego at times. You know what I mean?
I think we I think we all have the capability to.
Yeah, and it's good to put that in check every now and then.
I agree. I try to, stay humble.
Yeah, that is one of the easiest things that we can do. Not even try
Make a conscious effort to do.
Yeah, stay humble with everything that you have, and keep it real, keep it 100.
Yeah.
As they would say.
Keep it 100.
Yeah. So so that's my last topic. Anything else pop in your brain before we?
Only because we mentioned this Vel thing, I just wanted to say one last thing is that I started the George Carlin documentary last night, and that is impeccable. If you guys are even if you're not a George Carlin fan, if you just like comedy, it's on HBO. It's so good. I didn't get to watch all of it because I had to
It's
go
3
to bed.
hours long.
Yeah, and I think it's in parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually didn't even finish the first part. I just put it on to fall asleep to, and
Right.
it was so good that it was keeping me awake. So I had to turn it off because I'm like, this is too interesting.
Yeah. I like George Carlin. I even bought some of his books, when I was younger.
Oh wow, was he the author of the books?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And he's a great writer too.
That doesn't surprise me for a second.
So if you're ever so lucky enough to buy one of his books or see any of his comedies, very, very relevant even today. Everything that he talks about. The man was so ahead of his time. And we were lucky to have that treasure with us while he was here. We're going to do final cheers in 1 second. But before we do that, a little commercial, if you will. Guys, thanks so much for coming on the show, and thank you for listening. We are on YouTube, so you can actually watch the show on YouTube. For more information, go ahead and click drinkstowardsby.com, and you can actually watch the show. It's really interesting, Maria, because I see the numbers, and the numbers on YouTube do not reflect the numbers of the podcast, the actual podcast. So many people listen to us more than view us, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But do I have a face for radio? You know what I mean? Do we have faces for radio? I don't know, but there are more people that listen to us, and I guess it makes sense because you can listen to us in a car or at work, and not watch us.
Yeah.
So it's been real interesting to see kind of our demographic of they're just more audio listeners than viewers. But if you're ever so inclined, you just want to see what we look like, or just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think the aesthetics of the show is kind of cool, just because there's a lot to see, to view. But I mean, if you just want to listen to us, I'm perfectly fine with that, as long as we get our message across. Which I don't even know what our message is, but
drink and talk.
Yeah, drink and talk. Exactly.
Drink and talk. See what comes out.
Exactly. Something's bound to happen. So make sure to check us out on YouTube. And for more information, log on to drinkstowardsby.com. Click that YouTube and hit that subscribe button. We are on a plethora of streaming platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. For more on that, again, log on to drinkstowardsby.com and check out our streaming partners. There you'll see a bunch of banners, and go ahead. And most importantly, guys, if you like the show, you gotta let people know about us. As you know, in the show, I documented how I'm horrible at telling people about the show. So I need you guys. We need you guys.
Do what we can't do, people.
Yeah, talk about the show, share the show, let people know about the show. I would really appreciate it. And what we would also appreciate is some fazools. We are on the Venmo. Yes, you can tip us or buy us off. We don't care. If you want to buy us drinks or say, hey, you should try this or whatever, go ahead and do that. Look for us, Venmo, at Drinks Towards By. That is our Venmo handle. And if you can't remember that, just remember the website, drinkstowardsby.com. Make it perfectly all simple. All the information is right there. Also, with that, cannot thank the Cove enough. We get to do it at a live, actual bar. Not many podcasts can do that. We sit at the bar. We're not on the stage. We are with the people. And I cannot thank the Cove enough for allowing us to. I don't think they allow us, or we just show.
Well, they don't kick us out.
Yeah,
Let's say that. Thanks
yeah.
for not kicking us out.
Would really appreciate if you guys can come check out the Cove and see all that they have. They have the best whiskey selection, hands down, in, dare I say, Southern California, if not all of California.
A lot of allocated bottles. Just,
Specialty bottles.
Yeah, and also prices that are unheard of.
Exactly. Price points are spectacular for you. And dare I say, I think they have a really good gin selection.
We have a good selection of everything, I feel, but we also released a new menu recently, so we have some new cocktails to come and try with some gin ones on there. So yeah,
I wouldn't say that it's because of me, but
But you're gonna allude to it.
Yes.
He won't say it. He'll just allude to it and not finish the sentence completely.
Exactly. I'm pro gin. Those that will know me will know that is
Gin is really good. I do love gin.
Yeah. So special thanks to them. Maria, you bartend here, and what days do you bartend?
I'm here Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. to 5, and Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. to 5. We open 8 a.m. 7 days a week. I'll be here Saturdays, Sundays. I'm also here Wednesday nights, so come and check us out. I'd love to meet new people as well as see returning faces.
Yeah, and you know what? There are times where I can't make it on the weekend, so I'll pop it on a Wednesday just to get my Maria quota in. You know?
I definitely love seeing you, Albert. I've actually known Albert for many years, maybe like 16 years. I met him when he was producing the Frosty, Heidi, and Frank show on Free FM. And I've been following his career and a fan of his work for a long time since.
All accidentally, too.
All accidentally, yeah. it actually, I feel like the Cove connected us because I recognized you from the Cove, but then knew you in your own, see you in your space, do your thing. So I've been a fan of yours for a long time, both personally and professionally.
Yeah, so it's been great for that. Wanted to also mention, I'm leaving the Cove, working here, but that doesn't mean I'm leaving the Cove. You could still catch me here on Sundays primarily, but it's going to be weird not coming in on Sundays anymore in the future. But it is what it is, and I'll miss our Sunday coffee conversations.
As will I, Albert. As will I.
Which, by the way, I wanted to start that show. Coffee Conversations.
Stay tuned for our next show, people.
Yeah, Coffee Conversations with Albert and Maria. Or Maria and Albert, whatever.
What's in that coffee?
Yeah.
That's what it should be called. What's really in that coffee?
I love it. Let's see. What did we talked about the Cove. We talked about the pod. I'm trying to just get all the commercials in. Before we do our final cheers, we talked about see Andrea on Mondays and Friday mornings. Make sure to go check her out.
Oh my gosh, yes, this Bloody Mary is amazing.
Yes, and this michelada is amazing. I've known Andrea for eons, and so now she just does mornings. Every now and then she'll do a Saturday night when she can. So always seeing her on randomly on a Saturday is pretty amazing. But go ahead and check out Andrea, one of my faves for sure.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I actually worked here at this bar 15 years ago. I remember her from then, and I can attest that she was just as sweet then as she is now.
Yes, definitely. And Andrea, if I could get you over here really quick as we go into our final cheers. And Maria, what are we cheersing to this week?
I mean, of course, I know I keep reiterating this, but I am going to cheers to our fallen soldiers, our families who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for, losing their loved ones. And no matter what you're doing today, just remember it's not just a day off. We're mourning today and celebrating. So keep that in mind. Be safe and, spread love, spread joy.
Yes.
Andrea, what would you like to cheers to this week?
in memorial of our fallen soldiers, for sure. And also just to our family, our bar family. I feel like we're connected in some form of way for all these years, and it just gets better and better. You know, we do a lot of things as a family outside of this bar, and I appreciate those things a lot. I really, really do. And just like cheering people on about their new journeys and their new purchases and their new, their next thing in life, what they're going to be doing, and we all can, just come back and remember and celebrate where we were and where we are now, and look forward to the things in the future.
Yeah, and my cheers is going to go out to Risk. Without it, there is no reward, and some people risk everything, and it's hard. It's hard, but without it, and without having that confidence and knowing that you can go into that situation, I think it's a very valuable thing, and there is no such thing as fear. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's what my cheers is going to go to. So thank you to everyone that listened. Again, for more information on anything, any topics that we talked about, go ahead and email us, drinkstowardsby@gmail.com, or slide in the DM because we are on Instagram. That's right, @drinkstowardsby. And that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Drinks to Words by Maria. Kick everyone out.
Can't stay here, everyone. Have a good day. Happy Memorial Day. Get out of here.
Cheers.
Cheers.